last of all kings. I am the veiled monarch, forever unable to show my true face, the last of all kings bound to the Golden Order. My name is Morgott, a cursed child, born under the Golden Lineage. Laughable, is it not? I am the progeny born of the union between Queen Marika the Eternal and the first Elden Lord, Godfrey, meant to be as flawless as my elder brother, Godwyn the Golden. But reality proved far crueler. Twisted, hideous horns and a rough, abominable hide heralded my arrival. I am an accursed being, unaccepted by the Golden Order, an omen child. It is said that in the ancient Crucible era, this vile body of mine, now deemed ominous, was once a symbol of its blessing. But what does that matter now? In this current age of the Golden Order, I can only be seen as a blemish, born destined to be spurned and forgotten. As one of royal blood, my horns were spared severance. Yet my own mother, Queen Marika, cast me and my equally unfortunate twin brother, Mohg, aside together. She imprisoned us in the depths beneath the royal Capitalin, the sunless, squalid subterranean shunning grounds, as if such an act could conceal the shame upon the Golden Lineage's blood. Endless darkness, fetid pools, and eternal solitude, such is the rightful destination for the likes of us, Omen. Where there is light, there must be shadow. Though the Golden Order deemed me impure and exiled me, I understood. The Sacred Order is paramount. I accepted the judgment of the Order and the arrangements of my mother without protest. This was my atonement for defiling the Golden Blood, my path to redemption. To safeguard this order, I would endure any darkness, bear any suffering, even forsake my very being. However, just when I thought I was destined to spend the rest of my life in the sewers, a huge explosion suddenly came from the royal capital above me. The sound of crossbow bolts cutting through the air and the roars of soldiers made me understand that the royal capital was at war. But with my father, the Elden Lord Godfrey, holding the fort, who would be so fearless as to challenge him. The war seemed to last a long time, and for some reason, a fragment of the Elden Ring suddenly merged into my body, bringing me the golden grace that I had longed for. I was a little scared for a moment, because this meant that a terrible change had occurred to the great Golden Order. The constant sounds of chaos in my ears made me unable to sit idly by any longer. I decided to break free from my restraints and go to the surface myself to see what was happening. To prevent my Omen body from being discovered, I covered my true identity with a piece of cloth. When I arrived at the royal capital, I couldn't believe what was happening before my eyes. Order had collapsed. Godwyn the Golden had died under the law of immortality, and the Elden Ring was shattered as well. My parents, who should have been guarding the royal capital, were nowhere to be found. This world had lost its order. My relatives, General Radahn, Greater Rykard, and the Heaven-Sent twins, Millennia and Mikella. They dared to form a Monarch's alliance to attack the royal capital. In their hearts, had they ever had a trace of reverence for the Golden Order? Had they ever had half a sense of responsibility for this land, for this family? A group of ungrateful traitors. Their actions were all blasphemy against the Golden Order. Even more ridiculous, the current guardian of the royal capital, my descendant, Godric the Golden, actually deserted his post at this crucial moment, running away on all fours, disguised as a woman, leaving loyal soldiers to die in the royal capital. Golden Tree, is this your choice? Look at what these noble demigods you chose are doing now. They are tearing apart their homeland with their own hands, insulting their bloodline, trampling on the Sacred Order. Unforgivable, inexcusable. When they attempt to establish a new dynasty, someone has to stand up to protect the last order of the Golden Order, even if that is an unacknowledged omen who must hide in the shadows. I renamed myself Morgott, the Fell Omen, standing before the traitors who attacked the royal capital. I repelled them time and time again, cutting off their ambitions. But the Allied forces, composed of many powers, were numerous, and the outskirts of the royal capital also fell under siege day and night. To stop this senseless, shattering war, my brother Moog and I devised a plan called the Blood Flame Ritual. While I fought on the front lines, Moog spread his cursed blood among the rebels, driving the soldiers into madness, causing them to kill each other. Subsequently, Moog secretly infiltrated the bottom of the Erdtree and abducted Miquella. The disappearance of her brother caused Valkyrie Millennia to withdraw from the Allied forces and return to the Erdtree. And the remaining Monarch's alliance also disintegrated internally under the Blood Flame Ritual. How ridiculous. The last Monarch of the Golden Order would actually be me, this unaccepted, cursed child. I never thought of being able to get any reward. What I hoped for was just simply to love everything of the Golden Dynasty. Although I won the first victory, the traitors were still unwilling to give up. They quickly formed a new allied army and attacked the royal capital again. I still use the name Morgott, the Fell Omen, to lead the army to resist, slaughtering the rebels until rivers of blood flowed. Countless heroes who originally belonged to the Golden Tree died, their corpses piled up like mountains. The war lasted a long time, until I defeated Starscourge Radan in the city. The rebels attacking the royal capital finally withdrew. The shattering war was endless. My relatives who returned to their territories were still fighting each other for the great runes, continuing their blasphemy. My brother Moog also disappeared after the Blood Flame Ritual, and I was alone, guarding this empty and silent royal capital, day after day, year after year, watching this land that once bathed in the Golden Order fall into endless strife. The last king, huh? Who cares about or recognizes my loyalty and responsibility to the Golden Dynasty? Who cares about it? Who will acknowledge it? I had wanted countless times to push open the door behind the throne and see with my own eyes what exactly had happened to the Golden Order inside. But the roots of the Golden Tree were tightly wrapped around it, using thorns that rejected everything to prohibit anyone from seeing the Elden Ring. Supreme Elden Ring, is this your punishment for me? Even though I am your last guardian, will my omen body still not be recognized by you? If that's the case, then we will wait here until that qualified existence appears. One day later, the Tarnished who had once been exiled returned to the lands between. They challenged the demigods time and time again, attempting to collect the great runes and become the new Elden Lord. Is this your new choice? Great Elden Ring. If the dim grace in their eyes comes from your guidance, then I am willing to accept their challenge. In the following time, I sent out the loyal knights under my command, letting them become knight cavalry to hunt down the Tarnished in the shadows. And I also transformed into 2 clones under the name of Morgott, the Fell Omen, guarding in front of Stormvale Castle and the outskirts of the royal capital, respectively. If they couldn't even pass such trials, then these Tarnished would only be puppets, manipulated by the fire of foolish ambition, a group of wishful thinking, ordinary people. Finally, a Tarnished came before me. What is thy business with these thrones? Ah, Godric the Golden. The twin prodigies, Miquella and Millennia. General Radan. Praetor Rykard. Luna Princess Rani. Willful traitors, all. Thy kind are all of our peace. Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition. Have it writ upon thy meager grave. Felled thy King Morgott, last of all kings. I felt some familiar aura from this guy. That was the power of the great runes. It seemed that my relatives had all been defeated by his hands. He was a different opponent, stronger than all my previous enemies. In the end, I was defeated by his hands, falling before the Golden Tree and the Elden Ring. The powers of gold and omen disappeared from my body. I became a withered, stiff mortal. Mother, Gold, tell me, this cursed life of mine, what was it all for? Have you ever had a trace of recognition for me? Tarnished, not but a fool. The Erdtree wards off all who deign approach. We are